everybody out there. I am your host, and we are back. This is Jessica Koch and Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you for 8 years now. We bring you industry experts from all over the world, and today we are hitting it right on the mark with an amazing gentleman from London, and he has even a global mission. Our goal with this show is to bring you industry experts that help improve your personal life or grow your business, because when one happens, so much often the other is affected, no matter which one you focus on fixing first, or a little of both at the same time. However, we want you to have this beautiful, wonderful, full life. So we bring you these experts who can help you achieve those goals and dreams that you have for yourself. Today we have Nicholas, or Nick, and he is on a mission to improve the health and confidence. And confidence is so powerful and key in so many things that we do. Believing in something is really the first step in achieving anything, and confidence and believing in ourselves, everything must start there. That is the first stepping stone. He wants to improve the health and confidence of people all over the world. We're going to help him do it. So please hit that share button and get excited and get ready for a great show. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Well, tell us, how did this become your mission? Health, confidence for people, not just in your neighborhood, but the entire planet. You're going after all the earthlings in the world. This is a big mission. How did you start with that as your journey?
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. I started any traditional kind of path. So school, college, university. I then became a primary school teacher. I've been teaching for over a decade. Left the profession and created a company called Confident Healthy Individuals. So the initial idea was we delivered cross-curricular well-being projects for children of that age. So we would do things like Greatest Showman, Lion King, and we'd weave in well-being activities, which we'll discuss later. But then we discovered that it was not only children that needed their confidence and mental health boosted, but teenagers and adults as well.
Yeah, we all need a boost of confidence, a boost of vitamin C, maybe. That's an opinion. I'm not giving you health advice. Ask your doctor what you need. But, I think we need good vitamins, good sunshine, good healthy nutrition, good sleep, and definitely a good boost of confidence. So tell us about the clients you serve and how that program is working.
So we are kind of like an umbrella company. We have holiday clubs for children, which use outdoor spaces, because we firmly believe that no children should be stuck inside. Over here, we tend to use classrooms quite a lot and halls. Well, we are moving away from that, and we're trying to use the outdoor space as much as possible, even with the horrendous weather we have here in the UK. Then we have the cross-curricular wellbeing projects that I stated about in schools and primaries. We are developing currently a digital course for teenagers, because I think social media is having a massive impact on teenagers, as well as COVID recently, called Peer to Peer. So it's a digital course that allows pupils to work through the modules independently by themselves and assess themselves in their own way. So they can either do artwork, they can do quizzes, they can do further research. So it's very pupil, very child-led. And again, we are tagged in, I think it's 8 different modules we have: social media, anxiety, motivation, productivity, lots of different things that surround mental health. And then we have the books, our mindfulness adventures, which I'll speak to you about later.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I love that you're doing kind of both in program and virtual. You kind of have a hybrid community going on, so that you can serve anyone in the world, but also doing some things directly in your neighborhood, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So the first idea was to improve the confidence, health and well-being of people across Wales. And what I realized is that I can't multiply myself. So the best thing that I can do is digitize myself. So if I put out what we do in person digitally, then hopefully the entire world can access what I believe is something very unique and different to what else is on the market, at a much reduced price as well. I think for mental health first aid over here, It's usually £130, something like that per person. So obviously a teenager is never going to be able to afford that. A school's never going to be able to afford that. We are looking at something like $20 to $30.
Mm. Well, that's wonderful. I love that you're making that it so reachable and affordable. And so, what are some of the results? Do you have you been doing this long enough that some of the children are coming out on the other side as alumni or potentially future trainers for different parts of the world, so that you would be multiplying yourself in that respect, where other people are taking this on and stretching it out further?
Yeah, so we've worked with one school, Porth Community School, a local school. This was an in-person one. So we delivered the project. And the idea is that the pupils themselves then can carry out a well-being project of their own. So they decided that they needed positive affirmation messages next to where they were having exams. So before they went into the exams, they would see these positive messages, which I thought was a brilliant idea. And
Yeah,
there's no point me trying to tell them you need to do this project or that project, because some
yeah.
of the ideas that they come up with themselves are so much better than I could think of.
Well, I wonder. So you're a for-profit business, right?
Yes.
Have you thought about also extending an arm or a foundation that works alongside of your company and a nonprofit extension of it?
Yeah, I'm laughing because that's exactly what we've just done. So the charity we have, the community interest company, is called Confident, Healthy, Active Me. So the idea is to get families and teens, again, going back to the digital issues that we have, outside and active as much as possible, because we all know the benefits of physical exercise.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it's like there with you, but it seems to be less and less physical exercise happening in schools here. The recommended is 2 hours a week. And I think we would be very lucky if some of those children are getting 1 hour a week.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless they're enrolled, I guess, in team sports and things.
Yeah,
I know my
yeah.
daughter, our youngest, so we have 7 children
Wow.
and 8 grandchildren, and all of our children were in sports and activity. I mean, they did everything. They ran track, they played football, they were cheerleaders, they were soccer players, they were baseball, they did wrestling. I mean, really, we did every sport, I think. And right now, my daughter, she's very dedicated. She did some dance when she was little, but she's always, since she was 4, had a soccer. Well, since she was 18 months and walking around the house, she's had a soccer ball at her feet. And
My youngest, exactly the same.
yeah,
I've got two boys, 3 and 5.
well, she's a girl.
The 3-year-old is probably better than the 5-year-old at football,
It's
simply because he's
crazy.
grown up with the ball by his feet, you know?
Yes, yes. So she started the community sport actually at 4, but her dad had her dribbling it around the house and controlling a ball when she was little, just for something fun to do, not because we were trying to build a prodigy or anything.
Yeah,
But she is captain of her team, and she
oh,
is
wow.
travel. And she just this past tournament, she scored 6 goals of her own, and
Wow.
so over the course of the 3 games, but still 4. I think 4 of them, or 3 of them, were all in one game. It was no 4 in one game, because we had to learn what that was called. 3 is a hat trick.
Yeah.
But 4 is a haul. I didn't know that. And when you have 4 that you do yourself in one game, it's called a haul. And so we were, I'm bragging a little. What do you want? She's my daughter. I love her. So
As
so
long
yeah.
as she's enjoying, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Oh, she loves it. She loves it. And they practice 3 times a week. And then they have games every weekend. So I can't even imagine how many hours of physical. And plus, she does PE every week at her school in addition. So yeah. And I was going to ask, she's in a Montessori school, and they're very self-led and self-driven. And Montessori came from Europe. I forget exactly what country, but Marie Montessori, I know, was the leader of that. And she just loves it. I mean, she loves school. For a 13-year-old to love school, she really does love it. So, but we made different choices with this child, because the other children are all adults. We don't give her she doesn't have a cell phone. She's not on there's very little screen time or technology. It's just, she knows enough to type and do, report or for things for school that are needed. But We've always, since she was little, we played board games, we play Yahtzee, we play cards, we go outside, we hike, we kayak, we do things,
Yeah,
activities. So,
yeah. I agree with you there. It's you need
mm,
to get out as much as you possibly can, and with the weather here as well, it's easy to use that as an excuse, but
mhm.
more fun sometimes, isn't it? Putting on a set of wellies and getting up in the puddles.
That's right. That's right. Well, and she's also one of the other things I'm so glad for is she's a reader. I mean, she's been reading chapter books to me since she was in kindergarten. We started with Junie B. Jones, and then we went through all the Harry Potter series, and now she's reading another new series to me. And she reads to me on the way to school and on the way home because it's a bit of a drive. When you make a commitment, it's a second home payment, really, or the investment we have in her school would be enough to own two homes. And the time we do an hour, travel every day, one way 30 minutes, back 30 minutes. And not just that, because I have to, so it's an hour, so it's 2 hour commitment for me, right? Because I got to take her and then come home and then take her and then come home. And, so we just make choices. I think the other fascinating division or arm of your program would be to partner with churches that have mission programs globally. I'm just thinking about how can we make this viral to infect the world with some confidence and good health habits. And I believe if there were a way to infuse some money into your program so that the mission programs that are out there in the world that are working with children, and then it would affect the adults anyway, right? Because we learn so much when we work with children. They teach us sometimes more than we want to admit.
Yeah.
So that might be.
We have a thing here called the Daily Mile. Are you familiar with the Daily Mile?
No.
So it's an initiative. They're quite a big. I don't know what they are. I'd say charity possibly. And it is as it sounds. Every day, children will do a mile of running or an exercise for a certain point, and that seems to be growing. I think that's international as well. So it's a really good initiative. But something like that we need, but something to get children active and moving as much as possible.
Well, and one of the parts of your program, though, I think it's even more important or as important of the movement is the confidence, the things that you're talking about with confidence, especially from kids coming from countries that have so little. You sometimes equate with how much you can hold in your hand with your own self-worth. Why was I born here with, very little food, very little resources, no parents or orphaned because of war or whatever? Why did this happen to me versus someone else? My self-worth must not be the same as someone else's. And that isn't true. That is a story and a very bad one at that could be told to ourselves based on our circumstances. And for the children of the world globally, especially that are in these really challenging conditions. I mean, because we all have grown up with something. Yes, someone and I don't know that unless it's in the movies, there's a perfect fairy tale story, and that would make a very good movie. Even the movies have have something to overcome. There's a bad guy of some kind in some form, so that there can be a hero and a happy ending in the story. So I think that confidence piece is so key. Mental health connected to, when we have our physical health, our mental health is better. And when we have our mental health, is good, we can keep our physical health stronger. I know people, actually I've had them on this show. Bruce Barnes is a guest I had. You should watch his show because he was in a coma, but still he was aware. And he truly believes, and I'm not giving you medical or legal or financial advice. So this is his story, his experience, and I'm sharing it. And go watch it and hear it from his lips, not mine. One of our episodes. Actually, he's been on the show twice. And he could hear on the TV, someone had left the television on in his room, a doctor talking about how our mind can heal our body. And so he said, well, I can't move. I can't communicate. No one knows I'm in here and awake. I guess I'm just going to start. I have nothing but time.
Yeah.
I'm in a coma. What else do I have to do? No lawn to mow, no chores or excuses to get in the way. I'm gonna, work on healing myself. And he went with his mind through himself and is here to speak of it to us. So it's very fascinating. So I think that the confidence and the mindset piece of your program is equally important as the movement and the physical activity that you're inspiring the world with. So I really just think what you're doing is beautiful and amazing, Nick, and good on you for making this the choice of your life mission. Um, no,
Thank you.
no looking back and going, wonder if I should have done that with my life for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A good
On that point
legacy.
you're making, yeah, a lot of people have limiting beliefs, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, I call them gremlins with cognitive brain therapy,
Hmm.
and it holds people back so much. And
It
something I've
does.
been reading recently is the law of attraction, and that's just
Mhm.
like it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Of course it does. It does. I love books. I love books like this. One of my favorite and very deep and a bit more advanced. If you're just starting with the law of attraction, there's a lot more books I could recommend. But Quantum NLP is quite a deep, healing, wonderful mindset book that is very, very powerful. When you're ready for it, right? We have, it's
Yeah.
funny, the teachers, and I said this last night on the show, but when the student's ready, the teacher shows up. So the teacher in the book you need tends to show up in your life right when you're ready, which I think is some sort of beautiful magic that the universe or God, the creator, or whatever it is you believe has occur. It does
Yeah,
feel
very
a bit
true.
magical. It feels magical to me. So give us a tip then, now that we're talking about all of this, give us a tip that the audience can use today.
So I completely changed my life when I read Professor Stephen Peters' book, The Chimp Paradox.
Mm,
It's such a simplified way of us being able to understand how our brain works. So very simply, chimp, computer, and us, the adult, our personality. Chimp is 5 to 6 times stronger than the human, and we tend to think with the chimp part of our brain first. Whether you want to call it something else, the amygdala, or whatever the scientific term is for that part of the brain. And I have used it not only to boost my confidence, but I'm obviously trying to boost other people's confidence, but be able to understand how other people are thinking as well. So my set of values and beliefs, my own, and I act and I overreact to those set of values and beliefs. So if I believe I should always be on time to something and I'm a little bit late, I'm going to be so hard on myself because those are my values and beliefs. So the same thing with somebody else. Their value and belief might be what they are thinking, and it might be complete opposite to what I am thinking. And I've come up with a much better understanding of how other people think as well as how I think. So cognitive brain therapy, I was in a school 2 days ago. I was delivering a mental health assembly talking about cognitive brain therapy. Normally, I'd be extremely anxious. I'd be thinking, I'm going to speak in front of a couple of hundred children. There's going to be 20 adults there, whatever. And there was just this whole sense of complete calm because I was understanding what was happening in my brain, that I am not my emotions. I am not my behaviors. Just take a deep breath and just carry on as you normally would and try and distract that part of your brain that is trying to catastrophize to make you feel anxious, sending those horrible signals to your organs, making you feel your palms feel sweaty, your head on fire. It's just understanding that it's doing that part of your brain is doing that just to keep you safe and out of trouble.
yeah, that's awesome. So your tip is to focus. Give us in a short form. Your tip is to
Understand that you are not your emotions.
okay,
So
okay,
emotion first, logic second. So if you understand to allow your emotion to occur, get angry, get frustrated, or whatever it is in a calm way, but understand that that is not you. That's another part of you, if that makes sense. And then
yeah,
to override those thoughts with logic. And
okay.
that's why I teach children: you are not your behaviors, you are not your emotions, and it's okay to have those emotions.
Yeah, I do think it's important for us to acknowledge our emotions, to honor the emotion, to, face it and deal with it directly versus, try to tuck it away or hide it, because then it comes back a bigger, uglier monster much later.
Exactly. That's what.
longer the longer it cooks in a box, the bigger and scarier and hairier it
And the
gets.
more it catastrophizes, and it comes up with this is going to happen and that's going to happen. I
Yeah.
watched Inside Out 2 yesterday, first time. I don't know why it's taking me so long. And I was like, wow, it is the epitome of anxiety taking over and controlling
Mhm.
all of your brain. And that's what happens, isn't it? We catastrophize and we overthink things sometimes, and there's no logical reason to go with why we're feeling that emotion.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's much like, this is a funny example. We just had Halloween here in the US, and my husband and daughter did a pumpkin. They carved a pumpkin and they left it on our back garden table because it was kind of a fail. The carve just didn't. It was an epic fail this year. They
I know
don't.
that
They
feeling.
usually do. They usually do beautiful work and have great success. This year, not what was planned. And I said to my husband and my daughter, I said, you better take that and plop it in the grass so that it can do its thing as it, deteriorates from there. Well, now it is on a metal garden table. No one has taken care of it. It is becoming
Select.
one with the table that has
Yeah.
holes in it. So the see through, it's going to take them so much more work. They could have just picked it up and plopped it over. So if we just deal with things when you can just pick it up, okay, this is not going to work out. Let's just plop it over. It's good. Now they're going to have to scoop and scrape and spray with the hose and clean. It's going to take them an hour to clean this mess where it would have taken 5 or 10 minutes. And I think we often do this to ourselves where we let it sit so long. Now we need therapy and counseling. And, if we had just given ourselves some love, some grace, and some self care at the moment, we avoid a much messier cleanup, let's say.
100%. Are you familiar with the book Eat That Frog?
Yes, I love
Yeah, yeah.
Brian
So that's
Tracy.
exactly
Yeah.
the scenario, isn't it? You've got to do it. Whatever the hardest thing
Yeah,
is that needs to
whatever
be
it is.
done, get it done.
And that's right. And in France, they really make them delicious. So, you can do it.
Not for me. I'll pass on that, I think.
I've tried frog one time so that I could say I did, and tastes like chicken. So what do you?
No thanks.
um, Now, you know what's going on. All of you who watch, get typing. We're going to have Nick share with us a cause that he cares about. We have blended our causes in his journey as we've talked to him about this, but we love to feature a cause our guests care about, and we love to feature the ones you care about too. So type them in the comments, hit the share button. Our goal here together is inspiring someone to give time, treasure, or talent to a cause you share, to one Nick talks about, or just remind them that they have one that's close to their own heart. And we can inspire someone to do something good today, and maybe even just ourselves. And this, we have done something good, I believe, if that is all that comes from our show today. So, Nick, share with us a cause you care about.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a story behind this. When I was 30, no, yeah, no, it must have been 28, 27, something like that. My stepdad passed away. He had a battle with cancer, like a 3-year long battle with cancer. And I think the deterioration side of things was very traumatic for me, and I was there when he actually passed away. So I think there's a bit of trauma there, and I was in a very dark place. I would say that I was going through the grief process, wasn't particularly happy with the work environment that I was in as well, in a very underprivileged area here in Wales. And that's when I discovered cognitive brain therapy, and everything else came about from it. But what I'm really passionate about, and what we're going to do with the Confident, Healthy, Active Me strand of the charity, is work with children who have lost a parent,
Mm.
and even just for a short period of time, be able to distract them. So it's not kind of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation where it's absolutely amazing what they're doing. It's just a little time out where we can distract that child from those horrible grief feelings that they feel. Because
Mm.
unless you've been through it yourself, I don't think you understand what that pain is like.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you. I would agree that unless you've experienced it, yeah, you probably don't know.
Yeah,
So
so we're hoping, yeah, just that slight bit of distraction from whatever it is, whether it's mum or dad that's passed away, then we're hoping we can just bring a bit of happiness to that child's life, and possibly the parents' life as well. You know, that of the one who still survived, still
yeah,
lived.
yeah, it's tough. That's a I could imagine that it's a tough situation, but I have not gone through it. So I am sorry for your loss, and I appreciate what you're trying to do to help these children.
The thing is, like I said, I was 27 at the time, so it's, you know, a decent age, even though he was quite young. But I can't even imagine what it must be like being 5, 10,
Mm,
12. You know, it
yeah.
must be horrible.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that is why it's so wonderful to bring these causes to light. So often we don't take a moment to think about people who need things or have gone through things different than us. And nice to know that these different charities or our needs exist so that we can be more aware of the world around us and not just. We need to be self aware, but we don't want to be too self focused. So we want to make sure that we're looking out and helping out and reaching out to our world to make it a better place for others around us, which in turn makes it a better place for us as well. So thank you for sharing that cause. And now we're going to talk about something else I love. And yes, you have to get back to typing because we want to know the books that have inspired your personal life, help you grow your business, the books you've written. Put it all in the comments in the chat. And if you're kind enough to hit share, someone else might be too. And they just might be inspired by a book you share or recommend, or be picking up and reading your book that you published today. So, Nick, share with us a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business. I know you already kind of teased us with some books you like, but I'm hoping there's another.
Yeah, well, I have read more books in 1 year of being outside of the profession of teaching than I did in the whole 10 years, just because I've had that time.
Yeah.
I love listening to audiobooks. So if I'm here,
Mhm.
there, everywhere, I'll put an audiobook on no matter what I'm doing. There's so many to choose from. So the first one is called The Chimp Paradox, obviously. But
Mhm.
there's two people that stick out for me. One of them is Grant Cardone, the 10X mentor.
Mm.
He just gave me the belief to put myself out there more. And it's a funny story, actually. So I decided to contact a local news outlet called Wales Online,
Mhm.
explain my situation, that we were starting Competent Healthy Individuals. And they said, yeah, we'll do an article. And this was literally about 15 minutes after listening to Grant Cardone, one of his books. They did the article, and then the amount of people that were messaging me, and from there, I met Mark, who's a co-author of the books with me, and I'm so glad I've done that article because it's opened up so many different roads and paths for me. And then the second one, which is ongoing, because he's got two books now, is Alex Hormozy. He just simplifies business for me in just quick fire ways, which makes it more digestible.
I love that. I love that. These are, I know I've heard of Grant Cardone, but I don't think I've actually read any of his books, and I've read a lot of business books, like a lot. So I'm going to have to get with you after the show to make sure I get those written down and tucked away so I can add them to my reading list very soon.
He did an amazing show as well, Grant Cardone. It's an American show. I can't remember what it's called, but they took him somewhere to America where he was unknown completely, changed his name, everything, dropped him off, and said, "Right, you've got X amount of days. I can't remember what it was to make 1 million." And he proved that he could, and he talks you through the entire process of what he does and everything. And yeah, it was amazing.
I now I need to find the show.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, if you type in Grant Cardone, Secret Millionaire or something like that, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah,
Well, if you know and you're watching, put it in the comments. Let us know because that'll be a research project for me otherwise. So very, very good. Now let's talk about the books you've written.
okay, I'll grab one for you now. So we've created books. You know, I was talking about being active and confident and healthy. Well, ours, this is the first one we wrote, which is called Let's Look Through the Window. It's, again, I believe they're quite unique. So you have to do actions on each page that so, for example, if you rub the clouds here, they change color. If you blow on the trees, then the leaves fall off. So what we've done is we've hidden mindfulness techniques, breathing techniques in the book. So we say like stare hard at the page, close your eyes, imagine this is happening. So this is going through the different seasons, and you have to do different things for magic to happen on the next page. So for example, one bit is you tap the bird bath, and on the next page then it starts to snow. So with the children then we would do the snow actions. It's all about calming down the children after break time, before home time, before going to bed.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, where can we buy this book?
So it's on our website. It's actually on Amazon as well. So it's www.chi-education, which is CHI education.co.uk. Or if you look on Amazon and it's Let's Look Through the Window, we have 2 books there. The newest book is called Let's Meet Die the Dragon. So we have 5 books in the series, 2 that we've released currently, and they all have the mindfulness techniques added in. And as we've gone through and learned about the different types we can add, so tension, positive affirmations, etc., they've slowly and gradually become much, much better. So we are hoping the next book, which is going to be called Let's Meet the Monsters Under the Bed, 4 different monsters. Each monster has a special mindfulness power. So one is breathing, one is tension, one is positive affirmations, and I can't remember what the other one is. They all meet 2 children who can't sleep. So they do these different things, the 4 different things, and all of a sudden then they fall off to sleep.
I heard today in a book club that when you have a list of tools or techniques and you can list 3, but you can't remember the 4th, this literally happened this morning in my book club, that often means it's the thing you need the most right now. It's your subconscious tucking it and saying, oh, we don't want to talk about that one because that's the one we need to deal with right now. So whatever the 4th one is, it might be something you spend on.
I can't remember exactly what it is.
Spend some time on it this weekend, maybe.
Yeah. I'll have to have a little look. And then the next book we've got is the one coming out after Christmas is Let's Explore the Ocean, and we are in the process of talking with the Sea Life Trust. They could possibly be a sponsor, and we're going to donate £1 from each book that's sold to the Sea Life Trust cause to eradicate pollution from the oceans.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. And I know someone else who wrote a book and did a book on the ocean and is collaborating with ocean charities and causes in the world. And I don't know, maybe that's a great introduction for you. Maybe he'd be open to sharing your children's book, because his book is more of a beautiful, like adult, maybe coffee table book. I'm sure children would enjoy the picture, the photographs and things. It's very well photographed, but yours is a different, maybe a nice collaboration, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So it has been so much fun to have you on the show, Nick.
Thank you very much.
I hope that you are enjoying it also.
Yeah, I've loved it. Thank you very much.
So if you're thinking, well, wait, I'm an author of a book, or I could help improve someone's personal life or business, I should be featured on this show. Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Reach out to us and our team, and they'll give you all the directions that you need to get yourself registered, and we will gladly feature you, your mission, and your story, and how you're making the world a better place. So before we say goodbye and close out for today, we would love for you to share a final thought, Nick, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
Okay, so I'm going to use a quote from Desmond Tutu. Forgive me if I don't say it 100% correctly, but we need to stop pulling people out of the river and go upstream and find out why they're falling in. So instead of trying to fix people's problems once they've occurred, let's build a community where we prevent and be able to support each other rather than trying to fix it later.
Oh, that's lovely. I love that. And until next time, everyone, I'm your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. We will keep bringing you experts globally that will help make your world a better place. And until next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everyone.